Fáilte chuig Rang Gaeilge, your go-to Irish grammar website. Today we're going to focus on the Modh Coinníollach. This is the conditional tense. So basically, what would happen on the condition that something else happens first. So first things first. Just like the Aimsir Chaite, the Modh Coinníollach puts an ahrú tusaí, or frontal change, on the verb. And the best part is, the frontal changes are the same as in the Aimsir Chaite. Verbs that start with a consonant take a shevu. Verbs that start with a gutta take a D apostrophe before the vowel. And verbs that start with an F change to D apostrophe FH. This always happens with regular verbs, regardless of the number of syllables. Next, let's look at one-syllable Latin verbs. We have to remember the rule, Latin la Latin, quail la quail. There are different endings depending on who we are talking about. Instead of may, we add F-A-I-N-N to the end of the verb, like doghin, I would leave. Instead of to, we add F-A father to the end of the verb, dog fa, you would leave. We add F-A-D-H followed by she or she for he or she, dogach she, dogach she, he would leave or she would leave. Instead of shin, we add F-A-I-M-I-S to the end of the verb, dog famish, we would leave. We add F-A-D-H followed by shiv for you plural, dogach shiv, you would leave. And instead of she'd, we add F-A-I-D-I for the S to the end of the verb, dog fadish, they would leave. Still sticking with one-syllable verbs, let's look at quail verbs. Instead of may, we add F-I-N-N to the end of the verb, rihin, I would run. Instead of to, we add F-E-A father to the end of the verb, rifa, you would run. We add F-E-A-D-H followed by she or she for he or she, rag she, he would run, she would run. Instead of shin, we add famish, F-I-M-I-S to the end of the verb, rifamish, we would run. We add F-E-A-D-H followed by shiv for you plural, rehuk shiv, you would run. And instead of she'd, we add F-I-D-I for the S to the end of the verb, rifadish, they would run. That's all the Shulla Awan verbs out of the way. So let's move on to Latin verbs with Gaeilge. Instead of may, we add O father I-N-N to the root of the verb, like Chianoan, I would buy. Instead of to, we add O father F-A father to the root of the verb, Chiano fa, you would buy. We add O father D-H followed by she or she for he and she, like Chianoach she, Chianoach she, he would buy, she would buy. Instead of shin, we add O father I-M-I-S to the root of the verb, chianoamish, we would buy. We add O father D-H followed by shiv for you plural, chianoach shiv, you would buy. Instead of she'd, we add O father I-D-I for the S to the root of the verb, chianoadish, they would buy. The last endings we need to look at are for quail verbs with Gaeilge. Instead of may, we add E-O-I-N-N to the root of the verb, dimroan, I would play. Instead of to, we add E-O-F-A father to the root of the verb, dimrofa, you would play. We add E-O-D-H followed by she or she for he or she, dimroach she, he would play, she would play. Instead of shin, we add E-O-I-M-I-S to the root of the verb, Dimro mish, we would play. We add EODH followed by shiv for you plural. Dimroach shiv, you would play. And instead of she'd, we add EOID I for the S to the root of the verb. Dimroadish, they would play. And now all that's left to do is to ask and answer questions in the Modh Coinníollach. To ask a question, we simply use on followed by an uru, but not on D, T or S. To answer a question positively, we use the standard ahru tusik. And to answer negatively, we use ni followed by a shevu on a chunsan. The word for if in the Modh Coinníollach is da, D-a father. This word is always followed by an uru. And the word for if not is mura, also followed by an uru. Agus sinné. If you haven't already, do check out www.wronggaeilge.com for a downloadable 10-point summary, activity questions and answers on this topic, and much